Yo, BJ Gaddour with the Daily BJ. These are my 10 favorite chest exercises to make those pecs pop like corn and muscle up those memories. Number one, the dumbbell chest squeeze push-up. You can also use a ball. The dumbbell is nice because the handles give you a nice neutral grip, which is wrist friendly. And by having the hand spacing this tight, a couple things happen. One, you work more of the sternal fibers of the pecs right here. You're also going to be able to create this kind of adduction squeezing force as you go up and down, which is going to make those pecs work even harder. So I like this for kind of a constant tension stimulus, slow up, slow down, stay in motion. So I'm coming down, squeeze, push those handles in together, squeeze, 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 then come up slow. Squeeze, 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 and just keep it in motion for max reps. Never stopping, going up and down. Constant stimulus, constant squeeze. This one is money in the bank. Number two, extended wide grip pulsing push-ups. By extending the range of motion, you actually allow your chest to stretch more under load, create more muscle damage, strength gains, all that good stuff. Mobility, you can elevate your hands on stable box, bench, or step. You can use parallettes or dumbbell handles. You can also use the sand dune steppers, which provide also a slight instability for more stabilization and muscle activation. You get all my equipment at gardengains.com. The wider grip is going to work a little more outer pec, but also limit the contribution of the triceps to keep it more of a chest movement. And by pulsing, staying in more of the bottom half range of the movement, there is no tricep contribution. There's constant tension on the chest muscles, and we're spending more time in the hardest position, the bottom half of the movement. So let's show it. Wide grip, you can angle the fingers out a little bit as you go with a wider stance squat to alleviate pressure off the wrist, block the feet together, hollow body position there, rib shoulders on abs crunch. You're gonna maintain that. You'll lower all the way down, keeping the forearms vertical, and then with the nose hovering just above the floor, you're gonna pulse up and down continuously. This is a great max reps protocol, or working for, let's say, 1 to 2 straight minutes. Just pulsing, owning the movement, using the chest to lower and lift, nothing else, all the while keeping a straight line from the head through the heels. Number three is the eccentric isometric dip. Now I love the dip for building strength and muscle. It's my favorite chest movement for doing so. A lot of people think the dip is a tricep movement. It also works the triceps, but if you do it properly and lead with the chest, keep the forearms vertical, it is the number one chest builder. And there's ways to make it super hard without adding weight fast or change. Even though I do use those protocols, you can use your body weight and slow down the tempo to actually create more muscle damage and take stress off the joints. So eccentric isometric means we're going to take at least 3 to 4 seconds down and then hold for a count or two or upwards of 4 seconds. Sometimes I go 5 seconds down, 5-second hold. All the protocols work. As you add time, it makes each rep harder. So let's show the 4-4 option. I'm going to get locked in, and I'm going to lead with the chest. Take 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause right there. Where triceps are about parallel to the floor for 2, 3, 4. Come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes body weight feel like heavy weight, and also lengthening the eccentric creates more muscle damage and subsequent gains. And holding that bottom position and owning it and feeling comfortable in that bottom position will allow you to kind of skyrocket your loads, your reps, as you get comfortable there and actually do fast, full range of motion reps. Love this. Number 4 is the eccentric chest fly to press. A lot of people will knock the chest fly as being a bad move for the shoulders, but in reality, it's just an isolated movement that takes all the accessory muscles out of it and laser focuses on the chest muscles, the pecs, doing horizontal abduction in the transverse plane. I like to do what's called the eccentric fly to press, where we can overload the fly portion and then assist with the press. So you're stronger in the press, weaker in the fly. You can get used to heavier loads. You can go heavier loads for 6 to 8 reps, and you can go lighter loads for 10 plus reps based on what the goal is. All rep ranges are ideal for maximum development of all the muscle fibers. So here we go. You're gonna get a slight bend in the elbows. I like the incline option because it works more of the upper pecs, the clavicular head, which a lot of men tend to be very undeveloped in. Slight bends, hug the bench with the upper back, and take 5 seconds to slowly lower. 3, 4, 5. Pause the stretch for a second, and then bring it in and press up. And then keep repeating that flow. The eccentric portion of the exercise is the most important for strength and muscle gain. Also creates the most muscle damage and subsequent growth. So again, start with just a couple sets of these in the beginning so you don't get too sore. You want to be able to do that titty dance between sets. If you're doing too much, you won't be able to. Number 5 is the banded dumbbell chest press. I like dumbbells over barbells for building muscle because we actually can work on imbalances between sides. You can get more range of motion and it tends to be easier on the joints. The one issue is as we press through the top, we don't have as much tension there. Adding the band can actually make it hardest at the top where it's typically easiest. Really have to squeeze those chest muscles as you push through. It's also great for the serratus anterior muscles right alongside here, which is very important for shoulder health. And the one thing too is it actually allows you, because you can't use as heavy of weights, you've got to bump the weight down to accommodate the increased band tension to unload the shoulder joint in the bottom of the movement where some people struggle. So if you have shoulder issues or you want to add more pressing throughout the week without overtraining, that's an option as well. Angles are also important. All angles are viable. The incline options get more of the clavicular head, upper pecs. The decline flat options get more lower pec, sternal head, so you want to use them all. I take the band, wrap it underneath the trunk, I grab my dumbbells, and then I get into position. Now there's a couple options you can use here. I always like to do my presses, now I'll use all angles and grips, and you should, but I like to do with a slight turn of the wrist. I feel like I get the most pec activation, play around and see what works best for you. So I can do the full range of motion option where I'm pushing away, chest up, hugging the bench of the upper back, get all the way down. You notice when I get all the way down too, there's zero band tension, and press through. Sets of 8 to 15 reps are awesome for building muscle or work periods of 30 to 60 seconds. I could also use what's kind of a spoto press, which means you stop just short of full range right there while there's still a little bit of tension in the band, and I'm just pressing from there. That actually helps you build bench strength because it's a really weak position to hold and press from. And again, it can alleviate shoulder stress for a lot of people. That one gives you more of a constant tension stimulus and will destroy the pecs. Enjoy. Number 6 is the lateral banded one arm press. Now, the band option, you put the band right around the wrist, anchored at just about shoulder level, depending on which angle you're using for your press. Credit to Dr. Joel Sieben, where I first saw this from. When the band does laterally, it gives you some adduction force to add on the press. It's basically like a combination fly press, crazy activation going one arm at a time. Will also enhance the core work on this and make you more stable when you return to more stable press variations, more strength out of the bottom in particular. Love this one for higher reps, constant tension stimulus. Here we go. We get set up, put a band right around the wrist, we maintain that, and the goal is you're pressing straight up. Don't let the band pull you in. Lock in that core and push through and then squeeze at the top. Hold it, own it. You gotta go at least 25 to 50% lighter than normal on this movement to really appreciate how much extra challenge we get with the band. Again, lighter loads go a longer way. More Number 7 is bottoms up plate presses. Again, credit to Dr. Joel Sieben for the Fitspo on this one. Please give him a follow. This will be great for warm-up sets, rehab settings, back off sets, and work periods of 1 to 2 minutes with lighter loads or 30 to 60 seconds for heavier loads. Going bottoms up is just going to increase the stabilization demands all across your upper body. It's going to actually allow also building crushing grip strength, will make you stronger at all their upper body moves and any exercise in general where the grip's involved. And again, very easy on the shoulders, make your lighter load go a longer way. And the metabolic stress, one of the key factors of muscle growth, is off the charts because of all the muscle activation and slowing the tempo down. You can't rush these. So I get like this, you're gonna squeeze hard, hug the bench with the upper back, and then slowly lower. Again, squeezing the plate, making sure it doesn't move around on you. You can stop at a couple points. One is that arms at 90-degree angle point before coming back up and pushing all the way through at the top. You can also bring it lower if your mobility allows for it. Both options are viable, all right? Just really control it, press through, and you're just gonna feel insane amounts of activation in the entire upper body, not just the chest. But by bringing in more of these muscle groups, learn how to create more tension, it will make you stronger when you go back to regular variations. The cool thing about this too is you can start with 25s or even 10s in the beginning. As you go to like 35s, 45s, you not only increase the weight, but as the plate gets bigger, you increase the instability demand. So it's kind of a double whammy there. Try this one. I love this one. I think you'll enjoy it. Number 8 is a flywheel or cable chest press option. It's important to use a variety of training tools because free weights or dead weights, dumbbells, they have a unique strength curve whereby it tends to be harder at the bottom of a press, easier towards the top. Cables actually give you a constant stimulus. Bands give you an increasing resistance as you extend. The flywheel has a unique stimulus in the sense that as the harder you push out, the harder it pulls back at you, eccentrically overloading the muscle. Some great research is behind Flywheel machines. You'll be seeing these all over the place. It's kind of a glimpse into the future here. I always like to have the best stuff and expose you to it. There are plenty of other options you can have access to in any gym, but these are just amazing. Let me show you how it works. So I get set up. I love these actually for my boxing training. It gets you on your feet. Crazy amounts of core activation. As you explode through, it rips you back. So you've got to really lock in the core, and then you get the huge load to that stretch position on the pecs. Pushing through. I'll do sets of 10 reps, and it's auto-regulated. It's only as hard as you make it. So going, pushing out as fast as you can, it comes back harder. You can also increase the load via heavier flywheels or more flywheels. If you don't have access to flywheel, you probably won't. You can just use a cable option. Great option to add into your training. Get on your feet and just get you stronger from foot through head, right? Not just laying on your back and pressing. And these are great options for higher reps, medium reps. Lower reps, it's not as best of an option for this. You want to use more dumbbell options there. You can get this flywheel from Eccentrics. I mounted it right in the studs of my garage. And actually much more affordable than a cable machine. You can adjust the height of the pulley. You can attach different things to it. And very space efficient. I think you'll enjoy it. 9, band cable chest flies. Some moves are great for building strength and muscle, heavier, lower rep ranges. Some are just ideal for pump and burn protocols, making those titties swell, metabolic stress. The band cable option is great for that. Never something you want to really load up heavy. In fact, lighter loads for really extended periods, I'm talking like 1 to 2 minutes or like 50 to 100 reps, are going to be ideal for this towards the end of the workout as a finisher, or even as a starter if you want to really pre-fatigue the chest and get a mind-muscle connection going. So you want to use all the angles, lower, medium, high. The high will work more upper pecs, outer pecs a bit. The lower option gets more of that sternal head, kind of the squeeze. Lower pec options, use them all. Sometimes I'll do 33 high, 33 middle, 33 low, or I'll pick an angle and do sets of 1 to 2 straight minutes, or 100 reps in as few sets as possible with a special intraset stretch option. So here's what I'm talking about. I'll show the low option. I like to kind of open up the hands a bit. The bands, by the way, give you peak tension and peak contraction. Cables will be a constant tension stimulus. So both are good, different feel. Open up the palms, take the grip out of it, make it all chest light, bending the elbows, get a good stretch so there's tension in the beginning. Come up and squeeze those pecs together. And try to keep a kind of a constant tension stimulus. Let's say I can get 20. I'll rest instead of coming back out in the stretch position. So I keep tension in there, the blood keeps pulling in, and then I'll do another, let's say 10 to 15, and I can keep repeating that process until I get 100 total. Tell you what, lactation is real with that protocol. I think you'll love it. Don't overlook this option. For complete chest development, you want both multi-joint compound movements and the isolated single joint options as well. Number 10, the final one, ball squeezes. Look, my name is BJ. I know all about ball squeezes. In fact, when I was younger, I was in a band, a traveling band called Blowjobs and Ball Squeezes. So I know a thing or two about them, and it's a great way to get an isometric mind-muscle connection going for the chest. Very easy on the joints. It looks stupid, right? A lot of the stuff that is super effective, that involves focus and contractions, people think, oh, you just use heavyweight, shut up and bench press. But again, they tend to have shitty chest muscles. So look, I've got D's, you've got A's, pay attention. So I get locked in. There's a couple options. You can use a medicine ball, which is smaller, so you can change the stimulus based on how big the ball is. If you go real wide, it's going to be a little more outer pec. You go closer, you get more inner pec. The ball will also allow you to kind of come across like this. A med ball also gives you some load to actually hold the chest level. That'll work your shoulders a bit too. So let me show you that option. 1 to 2 minutes on this one. Just squeezing in can be used as a warm-up move, a finishing move. You can follow it up, like do some of this after some chest press to finish off the chest or extend the time under tension. So squeeze it together as you push out. Push, 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 push. Never lose the squeeze. All right? If I use the stability ball, that's better in my opinion, just to like pick an angle and hold for time. Let's say 20 to 60 seconds. So you can bring it close and hold. You can bring it in middle out and hold, or all the way out and hold. You can also play around with where you feel the most chest activation. I think about right here, based on the size of the ball, is where I will feel the most. And just push in, root yourself down, and learn how to create as much tension in not only the chest, but all the muscles surrounding it to increase strength, stability, and again, get crazy pec pumps. Subscribe to my channel if you're looking to build muscle and stay lean year-round. Join my online coaching group and follow my exact 2019 training plan at gorillacorngains.com. All links are in the video description. Hope you guys enjoy this. Love you. Peace.